just to get more views by telling people all sorts of convenient lies. I mean, no, Bitcoin is not going to the moon just because you're watching some random YouTube channel. No, you will not be a pro options trader just because you're watching a few irresponsible clips on YouTube. No, you'll not get rich quick just because you're watching YouTube. Also, I want to say that I acknowledge the economy is going towards an unfavorable direction. Rich are getting richer and poor are getting poorer. And as we head towards the next phase of capitalism, this will get worse. Guys, please watch this video till the end because I just want to share an honest thought, which hopefully can only be understood by watching the whole thing. Okay, so I've been getting the same question over and over again, and I thought it might be good to just get it out of the way for all of you and for myself as well. The question is, why do you hide your identity? I've been giving it some thought, and I'll try to answer this question in the most simple way possible, though it involves some complicated thoughts at the back of my mind, and also my own ideologies, which I grew up with. I sense that there are a lot of guessing going on to get a sense of who I am, but whoever it is, I'm not the person you think I am. Also, I don't own any other YouTube channels or social media accounts apart from this one, so hopefully you can understand that. I just sincerely hope that you guys embrace me as an anonymous online personality who is willing to help, share ideas, and listen to ideas. So guys, please don't focus on who I am, and if you could, please just focus on listening to what I say and sharing your thoughts. After all, I'm not asking for anything from you guys in return. I'm just doing this because I like doing it. Okay, so going back to the point, to answer the question, I need to separate the reasons into the real-world reasons and my own philosophical reasons. Then, based off those reasons, I'll elaborate on why I decided to share my thoughts on YouTube. Let's get started with the real-world reasons first. Number one, my job. Now, as I laid out in my previous videos, I worked at one of the top investment banks in the investment banking division for 6 years, and right now I'm working at a credit private equity / hedge fund heading into my 8th year mark. For both of my jobs, I worked at one of the top institutions in the world and the region, which handles a sizable advisory work and investment activities in the multi-billion-dollar range. Now, as I shared in my previous videos, I've always enjoyed working, and regardless of my wealth, I don't have any intentions whatsoever to quit my job anytime soon. Now, you may have noticed, but if you look through YouTube, there's really not many active channels owned by someone who is either currently working at a top investment bank, a reputable private equity firm, or hedge funds. Especially if you increase the bar to someone who has real experience of 10 plus or close to 15 years in the industry. Now, I know there are a lot of kids on YouTube who try to do why I quit investment banking, why I quit my 6-figure IB job, what you actually do in investment banking, what you learn in investment banking, what investment banking taught me type of videos, with 6 months or less than 2 years of experiences, but that's really it. Also, there are a lot of videos which says a day in the life of a millionaire hedge fund trader. By the way, I have no idea what they mean by trading or what they're doing in those videos. And what is M&A, Tesla to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon type of videos, which are just not helpful at all. Now, coming back to my topic, why do you think there are no one in the industry, and when I say no one, I mean really smart ones, who is willing to share their thoughts on YouTube? Now, I'm not talking about representative figures like Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, Bill Ackman, and Howard Marks, given these guys are more close to businessmen in front of the media. But I'm talking about real genuine and smart financial experts and investors who have been in the industry with long-term real experiences. Now, the reason is because those guys, including myself, need to be extremely careful with what we say. When you work in those companies or industries, almost everything you do and most of the work you do is bound by non-disclosure agreements and code of conducts. Now, even if you comply with all your obligations, making public appearances on any channels can heighten those standards on you, which can act towards your disadvantage. As such, I also share my knowledge on the macroeconomics, the Federal Reserve, investment strategies, investment case studies, valuation theories. But you may have noticed that I do not discuss or recommend any individual stock or financial instruments. I talk about the macro, the Federal Reserve, and practical investment strategies and valuation theories, partly because I purposely absolutely avoid discussing any individual stocks or giving financial advice, but it's also because I truly believe solidifying your fundamentals on the macro and valuation theories help you tremendously more than sparing time to watch Nvidia or Bitcoin to the moon, watch me make $5,000 in 10 minutes, how to become a pro options trader type of videos. Okay, so that's my first reason. My job keeps my actions extra careful. The second reason is my wealth. Now, those of you who have been following my channel would know by now that I did make a meaningful wealth through my career and investing. But just to make it clear, that's not the point I'm trying to make here. I do want to note that I fully realize that it's not a huge wealth I built compared to all the thousands of multi-gazillionaires and trading gurus with dozens of Lamborghinis on YouTube. Also, I do want to note that a lot of the people around me and the people I interact with on a daily basis have 10x, 100x, and even 1000x of the wealth I have. So I'm not trying to say that I'm wealthy or anything. What I'm trying to say is, whatever the amount of wealth you have, whether it's $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $1 million, once you say that number out aloud, publicly, with your identity disclosed, people's perception on you will most likely be reduced to that one number. Now, I do want to note that in my real world, apart from this channel, which I remain anonymous, I never publicly disclosed my salaries, my bonuses, my profits from investing to anyone around me. The reason I don't disclose it is because I don't want my human relationships to be affected with those number labels. Now, as I said, the number can be anything. It could be $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $1 million, $10 million, or even $1 billion. But whatever the number is, or whatever the number you have is, the moment you disclose the number, it only does bad for you and your relationships than good. Now, going back to the topic, based on my life philosophy, sharing the information I shared on this channel can only be shared because I remain anonymous. The intentions of sharing such information was to be more practical and show people that hard work and some lucrative investment decisions can go right, which may be helpful and informative for some of you watching. But if I were to do that with my identity fully disclosed, there would be a lot more limitations in what I can say, as it'll not only affect me, but also people around me. I hope you guys can get the point I'm trying to make here. So sane and mature people with real wealth will rarely willingly disclose their number unless they're dying to brag about their quick-made wealth. You may already know that I'm not that type of guy. After all, I'm a guy who got zero satisfaction after buying a Porsche 911. So guys, when you're living your life in the outside world or even the online world, if anyone approaches you disclosing their number or a number you can fetch and asks for something in return, please don't trust them. I see a lot of this happening in videos like To the Moon videos, let me show you how I made $5,000 in 10 minutes videos, and how to be a pro options trader videos. A person with a genuine heart and good intentions will never do that. I hope the same goes for all of you too. If you ever build a meaningful wealth down the road, please don't disclose it publicly. Just do some good things for your family and friends, like buying them a nice trip or buying them nice meals. Okay, so that's my second reason. I don't want to be labeled with a single number in my real world. Now, moving on to my philosophical reasons. The value of anonymity. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've always thought highly of the value of anonymity. The characters or people I like, such as Bruce Wayne, the Batman, Banksy, the artist, Satoshi Nakamoto, the father of Bitcoin, all have something in common, which is that they all pursue anonymity. Now, I'm a person who has some strong views on how the world should be, how the world should work, and how the world should be framed. these thoughts generally expand into the territories of economics, social systems, politics, cultures, and etc. While I plan to talk about some of those in my future videos, I do want to emphasize the power of anonymity. As I said to you guys in my investment banking career videos, before I accepted the job after getting the offer, I kept asking to myself, would I be happy working there? Now the question I kept asking myself before starting this YouTube channel was, would I be truthful when talking in front of the camera? Having thought about the question for a long time, I concluded that the only way I can fully speak on behalf of my beliefs was to be anonymous. Especially because I still have a job which is bound by certain code of conducts, and also because I'm not a public figure like a politician or a businessman. Now, I was a heavy YouTube user before I started this channel. I saw plenty of men and women talking in front of the camera, trying hard to depict themselves in some sort of way so that they can get more views, get more ads, get more brand deals, and stuff like that. Now, this not only happens in just regular channels, but also in channels which discuss politics, economics, investments, culture, technology, history, and even food. But that's not my purpose. I do want to stay truthful and genuine with what I say. I want to lay out a quote by Oscar Wilde, an Irish poet who was active in the 1880s. The quote goes, "A man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask and he'll tell you the truth." That's where my actions come from. Okay, so let me bring that all together and talk about why I decided to start a YouTube channel. First reason, I try to take on new challenges and quests to the extent I can. As you may have seen from my investment banking journey video and stuff I bought video, the sacrifices I embraced in my younger days of life led me to hunt for new things and new ventures so that I can open up my mind to the broader world. Now, YouTube is a platform which allows me to interact and hear thoughts from people of diverse cultures, regions, and nationalities and backgrounds, which is super interesting and intriguing. To cut it short, it gives me a sense of happiness which materialistic stuff can't give me. As I said previously, and also in my other videos, Porsche 911 gave me zero happiness. There are things which money can't buy, which makes me happy. I'm just a person who is designed that way. Second reason. Now, this is the main reason I decided to start a YouTube channel. I'm sincerely and genuinely disgusted at all the YouTube channels which are not helpful and responsible at all and just steer people towards wrong directions, and I want to fix that to the extent I can. Now, as I said previously, there are not that many real finance experts on YouTube who knows what they're talking about. So I was monitoring YouTube for a long time, and as I said previously, there's really not many real ones in the entire platform. I'm not saying they don't exist, but there are certain circumstances which makes it difficult for those people to come on board, let alone the busy hours. As I mentioned, I was genuinely so sick and disgusted at all the videos on YouTube where they talk about Bitcoin to the moon. Look at me make $5,000 in 10 minutes. How to get rich quick. How to be a pro options trader. And why you need to quit your job right now and start a business. Just to get more views by telling people all sorts of convenient lies. I mean, no, Bitcoin is not going to the moon just because you're watching some random YouTube channel. No, you will not be a pro options trader just because you're watching a few irresponsible clips on YouTube. No, you'll not get rich quick just because you're watching YouTube. Also, I want to say that I acknowledge the economy is going towards an unfavorable direction. Rich are getting richer and poor are getting poorer. And as we head towards the next phase of capitalism, this will get worse. And as I say all the time, this accelerated after the Federal Reserve started adopting weird tools like the quantitative easing. Now we all know that. Now while we all know that, does it help us to sit down in front of the computer and mourn all together, crying over something which we can't make any difference on? Well, if you think that helps, it's fine too, but I want you to focus on not crying over it, but learning how to leverage the current system to your advantage to stand out in this crooked world. This is why I made videos like investment strategy videos, which heavily focuses on how to leverage the Federal Reserve policies to your advantage. Okay, now going back to the topic, as I said, those kind of videos are so irresponsible, which absolutely does not care a bit about your life or your career. So I thought having at least one real finance and economics education channel on this platform, which gives you real insights and practical ideas for people who really want to learn and take advantage of the system, might not be a bad idea. And as I said previously, I was quite stressed and disgusted when I got zero help from YouTube when I was trying to pick some brains. A third reason, I love sharing ideas. A lot of you may have noticed already that regardless of the amount of comments, I try my best to read and react to a lot of them. By the way, I did realize I got a lot of emails too, but I rarely checked them and couldn't respond to all of them. So if you sent me an email and didn't get any feedback, please leave a separate comment in the comment section and I'll be able to read them and react to them. Now, the reason I read and react to the comments is because I love sharing ideas. I just want to emphasize that meaningless interactions is quite different from idea sharing, and already I feel like I'm growing myself a lot just by sharing ideas and information with a lot of you watching. So those are the reasons to why I wear a mask and why I started this YouTube channel. But after a few months of starting this channel, whatever I said in the video really just comes down to one thing, which is you guys watching. A lot of you guys sent me some exciting and encouraging messages, but I just want to note that reading all of you guys' stories in the comment section, like working late nights to fund your education to break into finance, just graduating from high school and seeking for advice to excel in life, sharing your happy moments of getting your first job offers, and trying to lead your life towards a better direction to support your family down the road. These stories just inspire me so much. It makes me look back at myself and reflect on the life I lived. It makes me question myself whether I'm getting the best out of my life. After all, I'm a human being too, and I'm also in constant need of inspiration and motivation as well, and I'm getting what I need by talking to you guys. So guys, thank you. And as I say all the time, I wish all of you guys the best, always.